putting my phone on flight mode, a tutorial. Okay. Welcome to Crimson Guitars and welcome to a tutorial. I have got this guitar that I've been working on for longer than I care to think about. And it's gonna be a doozy. I have got to fit a Schaller Hannes Bridge. Something I haven't done in a while, but it's something that just needs to be watched. And you're gonna watch it, I hope. Stick around, watch the video, it's worth it. I hope it's worth it. I haven't done it yet. Existential crisis. Okay, what I've got here is a standard Schaller Hannes Bridge. The bridge that's actually going to be going into this guitar is a piezo one with all sorts of piezo cables, etc. And fitting that, it's going to be easier to do it using a surrogate bridge, basically. And this version comes with string ferrules rather than a large base plate. I forgot what a base plate was called. I think I need more coffee before I carry on. Okay, anyway, so we're going to watch this process. I'm going to keep it relatively succinct and rapid if at all possible, but off we go. Enjoy the ride. Why am I doing this sort of stuff? I was never meant to be a dancer. Second existential crisis in 30 seconds. Come on then. First of all, we need to figure out exactly where this bridge needs to go. That'll do. Now what I do is I put the bridge roughly in the right place, i.e. roughly at the right scale length, in this case 648 millimeters, and I know that I've got 5 or 6 mil worth of adjustment at the back, at the rear end. And then I will line up where the strings are going to go on either side and check to make sure that that is even and square and correct. And this is obviously really rather important. If you have a center line, this bridge is nice because it's got a very delineated center line in between the three. Down the middle, you know what I'm talking about. Visually check that out and we can go from there. Now, it is just sexy, is it not? However, it has this offset design that does tend to fool the eye somewhat. So, using the edge of the pickup slots, I then visually check to see whether the saddles are parallel to the rest of the guitar. And preparation is key at this stage. Don't rush. Don't allow yourself to become distracted by the camera that is constantly following your every move. Double and triple check your scale length. Double and triple check the alignment. And then, at this stage, start marking things out. Now, this guitar, I've been doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things to it finish-wise. I can't draw straight onto the body because I don't want to. With those three, I know exactly where I am. Now, that's actually the easy part done. We need to mark out where those holes are, so the string through, or the through body stringing, which is fairly straightforward, okay? saddle pops off, you've got a little hole there. Make sure your bridge is in the right place. Measure everything again. Pray to the gods of all that is holy. Reg, the god of gigging club musicians. There we go. And make your marks and drill. That's fine. Okay. I love the modulus. I love the system. It's just so cool. However, you don't have any way of bolting the bridge to the body. That's done from the rear. And you need to very carefully mark out where those holes are and where they're going to go through the body. And we're going to do that with a little bit of tape on the bridge, and then take some measurements with the calipers and go from there. At this stage, flip the instrument over. Masking tape is your friend. Now, how I tend to do it is I'll line the masking tape up down one side of one of the saddles, through the center of the hole, and up the other side. And that should give us a mark here that we can easily transfer over. I'm sure there's probably a more scientific way of doing it. A nice fine pencil. Very lightly, because I don't want to dent the guitar at all. And that is the line where we should drill. Now, before I go any further, I need to double check everything. Oh, too far. So using the dividers, you'll notice I'm not following instructions. I am not using any dimensions drawn on any pieces of paper or downloadable plans. I do not trust anything. I want a hard and fast measurement that lines up with the lines that I've already drawn, that lines up with the middle, and that is then physical and something I can set aside and check. Okay, so I've done that. And then if you can see the center joint, which in this case is slightly problematic, let's go metric. You also, I'm really struggling to see that. There's the center. Also double check to see how centered the center joint is. So essentially that's 22, that's 22. We're in the right position. We're all good. Now at this point, I'm going to not trust past me. That guy is an a-hole. I'm going to double check and triple check again. What's that? Triple checking cubed. I'm going to double check my scale length and my string positioning, etc., and make absolutely certain this is in the correct place. This is not a waste of time at all. Slow is steady, steady is fast. I like that saying. This is the second video I've said that in today. It really works with craft of any sort. So, out comes the ruler of doom. We should have a 3D effect. Sorry, having too much fun. I am happy that this is in the right place. So now I need to measure. I could use calipers. I probably should use calipers. 6.5 mil. 6.5 mil. Now, I'm happy with that. And then lining up precisely with where my ferrule came off. Can you tell it's the first time I've used this tool? Okay. We now have 2 holes that should line up perfectly. Using the dividers, double check that they are the correct distance apart. Using the ruler, double check that they are the correct distance from the center line, which I still can't see. We are where we should be. Now that we've got those in position, we can proceed with some drilling. Use a pillar drill. If you don't have a pillar drill, get a pillar drill. If you can't get a pillar drill, borrow a pillar drill. Don't steal a pillar drill. That's morally questionable. Come on a guitar building course where we have pillar drills. You need it to be square, you need it to be accurate, and doing this sort of a job by hand, you just don't. Pillar drill it is. Now, I've marked out those 2 holes. What I'm going to do is drill through on the pillar drill and bolt the bridge in place. And then I'm going to double check my positioning again, because at that point you can't do anything about it. And then I'm going to mark out and mark through, using a 120-year-old hand drill, mark where the strings holes are going to be going. And at that point it's fairly standard. With this bridge, it's the marking out that is, it's not even difficult, it's just scary because it's a strange, cool, alienish bridge of awesomeness. I still remember the feeling the first time I saw one of these on a guitar. Oh, so cool. Come on then. What did I say we were going to do? Drilling. Something else actually is drill bits. Seriously. Find yourself the best quality drill bits you can. This is a set of center point FAMAGs. These are cobalt coated, just from Draper actually, but they're really good. We need a center point drill, and I don't actually know how big it needs to be yet. So, we'll have to measure something. Ah, wrong drop. Just over 5 mil. Just under 5 mil. Perfect. 1 5mm hole coming up. What fun. I have set the depth stop so that the drill bit, the point of the brad point bit, only just goes into the plywood protector at the bottom, which means that, if I'm right, I'm only going to just go through the back of the guitar. Now, I am using particularly fine drill bits. This is the FAMAG. It's a fantastic, very sharp drill bit. I don't want tear out. I'm going to go very, very, very slowly, and even slower than that when I start seeing the depth stop reaching point. In fact, I don't really actually want to go through the back. I just want the brad point to just pierce, just make a mark where I need to drill from the other side to avoid tear out. And, well, let's line it up and have a go. Eye protection. Haha, you thought you got me there, didn't you? Where are we? Oh, it went a little bit further than I hoped. Haha, we've gone just through, but 0 tear out. That's a perfectly clean hole. Also, we've got a perfectly flat surface that was hard pressed down onto another perfectly flat surface, so we're all good. I am going to put some masking tape on the other side now that I know where the hole is going to be coming through, though, just to make absolutely certain the other one's fine. Clean, perfect. I am a happy, happy man. I'm going to leave those on there just for a minute, and we can see. We'll use that as another way of triple checking that we're in the right position. Now, I'm not entirely sure how long those are. Oh, look at that. You can't. There you go, you can. So even without countersinking, these are just long enough to go through. So I've calculated that correctly. Now, I am going to do exactly that though. Now, I'm going to countersink these 2 holes. I wish that they gave us a bolt that didn't have the A2 7D. It would be nice if that was just a clean, clear, pretty bolt. I have a really nice, sharp countersink here. Just double check it's big enough. Might not be actually. So we are... It is exactly the right size. I mean, absolutely, precisely perfect. Let's get my microphone cable caught on the vise again. Now, I'm going to do this by hand. I have a drop top, I have a fretboard on the other side. I would have to make a sort of packed out jig to hold it square and stable on the pillar drill. And I don't want to. I want to get this bridge in. Okay. That's my knife. Allen key. This is the moment of truth. It all lines up. So those are in nice and flush. Let's get a close-up. And that is all good. Let's get rid of that masking tape.